Now, let's go back to this a little bit. We need to bring down the expectation, because I have people who are talking about 30-50% salary increments, and that's ridiculous. No company is doing that. You need to be more realistic. It's your job to manage the expectations. Now, that's why we are going to this new rating and try to have a common model of rating. 3 means that I'm satisfied, I'm happy with what you did. You met the expectations I had to you as a manager. You did a good job. You did what was expected. That is a 3. Now, why do we pay salaries? Why do we pay salaries? We pay salaries for you to do a good job. I'm not paying your salaries to do a bad job. I'm not. I'm paying you your salary to do a good job. We are paying your salaries for you to do a good job. If you met the expectations and you did a good job, the rating will be 3. And if you don't do it, I'm going to change it. Because then this is going to show different. So you need to understand that when you are happy and you think your employee did a good job, he fulfilled your expectations on him, then it will be a 3. Otherwise, I will change it. And I will also assess you as a manager. Because if your guys are all here, then, okay, maybe you are not that manager that we believe you were like. Then you are not managing the expectations. Maybe you are not. Maybe you shouldn't be in that position. Now, 2 means that you did an okay job. You met most of my expectations and you realized most of the goals, but not all of them. But I'm okay with you. But you didn't fulfill all the goals and all the expectations. That is a 2. A 4 is when, wow, fantastic, you are absolutely unbelievable. You did everything, you did more than I was expecting. You did much more. That's a 4. 5 is a Superman. 5 is, unbelievable. How many Supermen is there in Metropolis? How many Supermen is there in Julphar? I don't think there is too many. I don't think there is too many. I hope there is. I would love to have Superman here. But, guys, the expectations, we are not going to have hundreds of Supermen. If we have hundreds, then I know that we have problems with the middle managers because they are not doing their job. Now, another characteristic of julphar and the culture we have is the lack of questioning. What I talked about earlier, questioning status quo. My job is to provoke you. My job is to be a catalyst for the change. I'm not going to do the change. I'm one person. I can't do the change. You will have to do the change. My job is to provoke you, make you think and question. Why do you do this? Why can't you do this instead? I don't know how it should be done, but I can question you, and you need to do the same with your people. Everybody needs to start questioning. Now, we have very difficulties taking criticism in this organization. That needs to change. Otherwise we can kiss goodbye our ambitions. We need to be able to give constructive criticism. Constructive criticism. I don't want everybody to go and complain about everything. That's not what I mean. I mean constructive criticism. What is that? It's criticism with a good, pure intention. We need to be able to give constructive criticism, and we need to be able to take it. And I find many people who are angry at me because I question. Now, I do it with pure intention. I have no ulterior motives, none whatsoever. I have a job to do here. My job is to try to shape this organization and realize that there is change needed and help that organization. But as a leader, you need to be able to give and receive constructive criticism. And I emphasize constructive criticism. We don't want complainers. Constructive criticism. Now, that goes as well with the performance rating and assessment. I know it's very difficult to talk negative things with people. It's hard to give a 1 or 2 to somebody. It's difficult. How will you motivate it? But that's your job. That's why you are paid salary, manager salary. That's your job. If you can make it, go somewhere else. Or come and ask for help. Your job is to assess your employees in a constructive manner and appropriately. You are not going to do any favor to yourself if you give a 4 to somebody who deserves a 2. You are not going to do any favor for yourself if you assess somebody as 4 and you really think he's a 2. Because there is nothing more demotivating for a good performer than sitting next to guys who get the same increments and they are not performing. And you can't afford to piss off the good performer. You can't afford it. You need to have the good performer happy. Otherwise, you're not going to make your goals. And if you give somebody who deserves a 2, gives him or her a 4, you are going to make your life miserable. And I'm going to come chasing after you. So, you are not making yourself a favor. You need to be fair. If it's a 2, it's a 2. If it's a 4, it's a 4. Now, you are not making that person a favor either. Because what you are doing, if you are giving somebody a 4 and he really deserves a 2, you are robbing him of the chance to develop. And that's the worst thing you can do. Because he's going to go on believing that he is a Superman. And he really isn't. You are robbing this person a possibility to get constructive feedback and do something about it. You are ruining this person's career. That's what you are doing. And your job is to get out to most of people and develop them. And we need it. Otherwise there will not be any development. And we can kiss goodbye our fantastic ambitions.
What you're talking about is a really big problem. I've seen it a lot in companies that a lot of people they tend to be generous in their scoring and they get 4 and some people they are not generous. So how can we guarantee we will not take it to individual variation and the company and you yourself will have a control?
Yes, and I'm very much aware about it and there is a lot of issues that I need to do. Unfortunately, it will take time. There are some more things that I will do about this. But you need to make a personal choice. As a leader, you need to make a personal choice here. It's very frank. You either decide to be part of the problem or you decide to be part of the solution. It's a personal decision all of your leaders need to make. Do you want to be part of the julphar success and our realizing our ambitions or not? Make a choice. Now, whatever choice you will make, eventually I will catch you. Because I will start assessing all of you managers once I get, these systems up and running. And then, one of these days, you don't have a choice anymore. Because then I'm going to ask you to leave. Right? So today, I can't guarantee it. What I can do is that I'm making the system. I'm asking you all to be with me, be with the company, and let's try to do it right. Let's practice this year. Next year we do it a little bit better. Next year there will be other issues that I will bring and implement that will make it easier and guarantee the equity. But we need to start somewhere, right? But the main point I have here, you are not making yourself a favor, giving somebody 4 who deserves a 2, and you are certainly not making that person a favor, giving her or him a 4 when he deserves a 2. Okay, the process fast then. We are here now. By the end of December, 31st of December, you need to make sure that all your people have been assessed. If you want to, in that same meeting, create goals also for 2012, be my guest, but then you need to write it up on paper and enter them to the new template that comes in January. That's fine. In January we will do the company performance assessment. We will come with the increment variables, so we will make the amendment letters, and the ambition is that we pay the new increment salaries in February salary. Now, there is another thing that will happen now. What we have had as a practice in this company is to give one group salaries increment in January, another one in March, and another one in April, and another one in August, and not communicate about it. Now that will stop now, period. That will stop. There is only going to be one increment, and that's in January, based on an assessment in December. So all those others, they will stop. Period. Now, there will always be individual exceptions. You, for instance, you got a new offer and we really want you, okay? We will make a special adjustment for you in July. Fine. I have no problems with that. Individual exceptions happens all the time. But the practice of giving, different groups salary increment here and there, that will stop now. Period. Now, the second phase of the process is to create those goals. And by the end of February, everybody needs to have goals. And it's your job to make sure that it happens. Everybody needs to have goals by the end of February. Then we will have the mid-year review. And then in December 2012, we will assess again, and I will initiate that as a corporate initiative. And then you have goals to assess against. Today we don't really have that, right?